Welcome back to RevIO PSA University. Quotes are documents you send to customers to propose services or projects and provide the estimated cost. Quotes are signed by the customer, accepting the terms. Once signed, a ticket is created for any one-time charges on the quote, and any recurring services will be created on the Contracts tab on the customer profile. In this video, we will cover creating a quote on a customer account and following it through the process once signed. Let's get started. To create a quote from the customer account, select the main tab called Opportunities. Now click New Quote. It is important to know that we are integrated with a third-party provider for quoting functionality to allow greater customization in creating your documents. While you do have access to your product catalog within the quoting tool, and you can update things like rate and quantity, some of the features that the tool natively allows do not currently push through to the contract created in PSA. We'll guide you through some of those things in this video. Give the quote a title here. This will show in the email that gets sent to the customer for signature. Select a quote template from the list. Your instance will come preloaded with a few templates that you can use to build from. There will be a separate video on creating quote templates so you can design your own. Now click Start Creating. This is one of the sample quote templates. Your templates may look different, but they all function the same. You want to customize the quote with your customer's information before you get started adding the products. Click the Variables icon to get started. Click on each of the variables and enter the customer information, along with any information from your company that is a variable. By doing this, every placeholder in the document will be updated with that customer's information. As I update the variable, you'll see it populates that information on the quote. Once you've filled in all the variables, click the X to close out this pane. Now scroll through the quote to find the Quote Builder block. Double-click anywhere in the Quote Builder block to open the Quote Builder and begin adding products and services to the quote. Click the From Catalog button to start adding products and services. Here's the first of the areas that do not flow through to PSA. We do not recommend using the Product button to create a custom product on a quote. These custom products do not flow through to PSA, even if displayed on the quote. Best practice is to add new products to the product catalog in PSA before attempting to build a quote with that product included. Then, using the From Catalog button would allow you to access that new product. Just note that there can be a bit of a sync delay currently from when you add the product in PSA and when it is available to select in the quoting tool. We also do not recommend using the other plus buttons over on the right side to add discounts and fees. While these items will display on the quote, they do not flow through to PSA and can cause issues with billing. Taxes will generate in PSA based on your tax configurations and will be enabled on quotes in the near future. Best practice at this time is to handle any line item discounts or fees in PSA using the product catalog, adding those items to the quote as products. It's also good to know that there is not currently a way to add the discounts or fees to the recurring service after the service is activated upon quote signature. You'll want to make sure if you need those items, you add them from the start. Now, use the Search button to start adding products from the catalog. Start typing even a partial name of a product to find it. Then click in the checkbox area to select the products. You can keep searching and adding more products from this window. After the products are selected, click the Add Item button to add them to the quote. You can add multiple sections to the quote for clarity for your customers if you wish. You can name each section as desired. Just note that this cosmetic feature does not flow through to the configuration in PSA. It is simply available to make the quote easier to read if you wish. This is completely optional. You can customize the name of the product, the rate, and the quantity on the quote by clicking on those fields if desired. This does push to PSA and will be reflected on the customer account. You can remove a product from the quote if you make a mistake by clicking the three-dot icon on that product and then clicking the Remove Item option. Another note is that the recipient view settings should be used with caution. Toggling on the Edit Quantity option will allow your recipient to change the quantity of that product on the quote before they sign. This quantity change will flow through to PSA and affect the contract created in the platform, so use this only if you want your recipients to be able to change the quantity of the product themselves. The optional item toggle switch should not be used as it does not currently flow through to PSA at this time and can cause incorrect billing if not used correctly. Also note that any additional detail you may add on the Edit Item option only shows on the quote and does not flow through to your contract in the platform as well. If you choose to use sections, recipients will see section totals on the quote itself, but all items will flow through to PSA as one contract and will not be separated into sections on the invoice or on the recurring service. When finished adding products, quantities, and prices, click Save. Now you will need to add the recipient's signatures. As the quote creator, your name will populate, but you will need to type in the name and email address of any recipient that is not showing before you can assign them to the signature box. Click the Add Recipient option. Enter the new recipient information and click the Create button to save. You will click on each signature box and then click Assign. Select the correct signature from the drop-down list to assign that recipient to that signature. Make sure to assign a recipient to each signature field on the quote. You may need to assign the date field to the recipient as well if your template does not have date fields set to auto-assign the completed date. Click on the date field if necessary, and then click Assign and select the recipient. You can optionally set the signing order if you have more than one recipient. Toggle the Set Signing Order option on, and then drag the recipient names to the order you need. The system will send the quote to the first recipient, and then, once they have signed, will forward to the next recipients in signing order. Once you have finished and assigned all signature and date blocks, click Send to Recipients. Type in the email subject and an optional message if you wish, and then press Send. On the Main Opportunities tab on the customer account, the Quotes tab will show all quotes sent to this customer. The quote will start in draft status and move to Sent once you have sent the quote. Once the recipient has viewed the quote, the status will display Viewed. And then, once the quote has been signed by all parties, the status will show Completed. If you have any one-time charges on the quote, PSA will automatically create a ticket and include those items. Once signed, you can click on the Main Service tab on the customer profile and then click on the Tickets tab. Click anywhere on the ticket row to open the ticket. You can work this ticket as any other ticket, but clicking on the Parts and Labor tab on the ticket will show you all the one-time charges associated with the quote. Next, clicking on the Contracts tab on the Customer Service screen will display the recurring service created by the quote. Clicking on the service row will open it so you can view the details associated with the contract. Clicking on the Contract Rates tab, you can see all the recurring charges and information about the service. Now you can work on activating this service as described in other videos. Remember that editing the contract and setting the recurring service to Active will generate all the charges on the Unposted tab in the Billing section of the customer profile and will begin recurring billing. And whenever you are ready to close the ticket and bill for the one-time charges, click the Send to Billing button, as described in other training videos, to send those charges to the Unposted tab as well. That's it for quoting for now. Thanks for watching. Make sure to visit the Help Center in Revio PSA to access the video training library for more training videos. You can also search for articles on a topic or access our full suite of product documentation from there. Don't forget, we love to get your feedback. It helps us know if we are on track, so we can focus on the areas of the system you need the most help with. See you next time.